The tobacco industry is targeting the youth. We need to fight back.
Everything we are doing concerning tobacco control is primarily for the youths.
In Nigeria, over 16,000 people are killed by tobacco-related diseases every year. 1 in 5 students lives in homes where people smoke, and over 370,000 children use tobacco products daily.
Nigeria is a very important country for tobacco companies because, of course, we have, look at the population, huge. 60-70% of the population is under the age of 35. So there are a lot of young people who can be initiated into the deadly habit of smoking. It took Nigeria about 10 years, so signed 2005, and then in 2015, Nigeria was able to pass the National Tobacco Control Bill into law. Nigeria couldn't start full implementation of the National Tobacco Control Act because it needed regulations.
The industry did everything possible to frustrate the process.
And bringing the law to life through the regulations became the only problem. Of course, it was the only way of ensuring that innocent people could find a fighting chance of leaving tobacco behind. Advocates and CSOs came together to strategize on the best approach to really take when it comes to taking down the tobacco industry. And this is where the voices of the youth came in.
We worked really hard. We rolled out what we called a rapid response strategy, which we used to make sure that we got the National Assembly to pay attention and to also get the regulations approved.
Through our Don't Wait, Regulate campaign.
Yes, of course. Everybody needs to be more responsible. Sign the petition. Don't wait. Regulate.
For this campaign, the youth worked with the CSOs and utilized storytelling to portray the ills and consequences of the existence and consumption of tobacco products in our society today.
It took us 4 years. It was passed on the 29th of May 2015, and the regulation was passed 29th of May 2019, so exactly 4 years.
It was quite an experience, but we did it.
The involvement of young voices in the pursuit for the passage of the regulations ushered in an era where youth became the advocates for change themselves. Youth started making policy demands in line with Nigeria's focus year after year.
So the youth are really critical for the work that we do.
Before now, it's hard to actually have governmental agencies want to listen to young people. Because of the advocacy that young people are doing, our voices are being heard. Rather than just sit down and complain, advocacy has become that tool that we are using as young people to actually get governmental agencies and non-governmental agencies and community stakeholders to actually do what we believe is right.
With the help of CTFK and CSOs in Nigeria, the Nigerian youth were participating in online and offline capacity development trainings. We were referred to as the Tobacco Control Youth Movement, TCYM, and were composed of health professionals, volunteers, and advocates who are passionate about making change happen in their communities.
I started smoking when I was 14.
It started with rolling of sheets of paper.
Asthma, which was a little bit repressed in me as a child, became even more frequent.
It was easier for me to smoke because it was cheap as a very young boy.
We leverage on digital media a lot to put to the forefront what tobacco can do, and we exploit from how it ruins relationship, how it creates financial hardship on users, how it affects like oral health, it affects the heart, it affects the lungs. So we put this in a compelling manner and share through different storytelling products.
So we started off with the Breathe campaign, which featured real human stories, illustrating how young people encountered and became addicted to tobacco products.
We've implemented so many campaigns. The Basiga campaign, the Paint the Change campaign, and also the Clean Air Nigeria campaign.
I was involved in the Clean Air Nigeria campaign, and we raised awareness on the harmful effect of smoking, the harmful effect of secondhand smoke to people.
And then we had our Breathe Again campaign, where we persisted in advocating for clean air. The Pipe Down campaign aimed to raise awareness and debunk misconceptions surrounding tobacco products such as shisha, suggesting that they are less harmful than cigarettes. With our increasing number and loud voice, the need arose to provide structure across the states, right, to give youth movement a strong identity, for better recognition. So the Tobacco Control Youth Movement, TCYM, took on a new identity around the vision for the movement, which really is to protect and activate communities against tobacco.
The main goal of pact is to have a tobacco-free Nigeria where tobacco use is drastically reduced among young people. And we do this through series of creating awareness online and series of offline activities, and also engaging stakeholders.
As an actor, I have a responsibility.
Nollywood is the second biggest entertainment industry in the world in terms of volume of output globally. There was a need to, regulate the way tobacco is depicted in entertainment content.
So creating awareness about this was the next step for us. And for this, we started liaising with agencies like the Film and Video Censors Board to persuade the entertainment practitioners to take responsibility and comply with the TAPS-free best practices.
How about we see the consequences of what drugs can do? How about we see it play out in the film?
One interesting win that we had last year during the course of the project was when we saw Breakfast Vapes, a vape brand, hanging signage, public signage, which was also stamped by a government agency. And that was called out on social media, and immediately the agency put out a statement declaring that they didn't approve the ad. So that was really nice to see that not only are we monitoring and putting this at the forefront, we can also call out agencies when they are being wrong.
We had 3 series of advocacy meetings with policymakers and stakeholders, and those stakeholders were, stakeholders in Bayero University and Yusuf Maitama Sule University. Through the advocacy visits and meetings, we were able to gain commitment from them to implement a tobacco control policy in the state, where they declared the state 100% smoke-free places.
One of my proudest moments was when we were able to get almost 400 people to sign the petition seeking for smoke-free spaces within the Abuja areas.
The Lagos state government actually reached out to PACT in Lagos to say, okay, you guys, we see you. Come to the table. Let's talk about drug abuse. That is a significant development.
Then bringing it back here to Abuja, we've had similar meetings with the Ministry of Youth, and we're still working to see how we can integrate tobacco control laws in their national youth policy, and also see how we can declare the NYSC camps across Nigeria as smoke-free spaces.
Recently, we got increased allocation to the TCF, increased by about 400%, which is, I think, a very big win for tobacco control.
This, to me, shows that
young people can actually bring that change that we all desire.